and thank you, Shunk, for doing an amazing donation last month for me. That helps a lot with the bills and everything, so thank you, man, for doing this. So guys, Smin just posted something, well, actually it was yesterday, basically denying that we will not see, or denying that we will see advanced missiles such as the Iris-T and other missiles like that in War Thunder right now. Basically, he answered a question about basically, you know, the Gripen getting the Iris-T and stuff. And he said that we are not even close to this type of missile currently, and he would not be introduced to just a single aircraft. And yeah, basically, I mean, it makes sense. The first thing, I mean, when this type of missile is introduced, guys, don't expect these missiles to be introduced as a balancing factor for one aircraft. I would be really surprised if that is the case. What you should expect is basically for everybody to receive such weapons, right? I can even do a video if you want to about all the options that we have for each country, right? The main one for a lot of countries would be the AIM-9X, of course, but also we have the R-74M. If you are talking about earlier models, R-73Ms, we can have the AEM-5, the Iris-T, the SRAM, and, you know, many other missiles, the Python 4, etc., right? There are so many missiles that can be added, and what are the problem with them being added? So that's the main thing, right? He denied that it will come right now. Why is that? Well, the main thing, guys, is that these missiles are going to completely destroy everything else. It's a missile that they will turn 50 Gs on the very least. Some of them go to 60. They will have an enormous amount of energy. They will all have thrust vectoring, and, you know, and not just normal thrust vectoring like the R73, sorry. They will have proper thrust vectoring with the ability of doing 180s and 360s even in a turn. And I think the major feature here is, guys, these things, for the majority of them, have very advanced IRCCMs. I'm not gonna get too much into how they work, but even the ones that are not imaging seekers, for example, the AIM-9X is basically a camera, right? And with that you can really put the electronics and software to ignore flares. I'm not saying that it's impossible to flare. As you know, in real life there are situations where we know from, you know, like cameras and stuff, that AIM-9Xs miss their target, you know, in a weird way. So it's not that they are impossible to avoid, but they're much harder than what we have in the game right now. And without the imaging seekers, even then, like even the R-74M and some others, they will have basically a way better IRCCM than what we have right now, with way less FOV after the launch, with basically the dual modes. So for example, something like the R-74M could turn itself off just like the AIM-9M, together with limiting the FOV and making it be really small so that it doesn't see the flares, making it that even if it sees a target on the very small FOV, it would basically ignore it because it would turn itself off and then on again, and it would just be almost impossible to miss a target in the cold aspect, right? So those are the reasons why, right? And yeah, with the denial of the Iris-T, all these missiles are going to be denied for now. So how far away are we from these missiles? That's the question that I really wanted to answer here. Well, the first thing that I think we can draw from this is that Gaijin is planning to add 4+ generation aircraft for everybody, 14.0s plus even, you know, more than 14.0 maybe, with the missiles that we have right now in the game. So with the AIM-120, A's, B's, with the R-73s, AIM-9Ms and stuff. So once everybody receives something like that, then maybe the next step up, once we start to see really the top of the line 4th generation jets, the really modern ones, and maybe even some 5th generation jets, that's where I think we will probably start to see these missiles. They can do two things actually. I mean, they can preemptively just add these missiles before we even see the 5th generation, so the game is ready for receiving something like an F-35. or they can wait for it and add with it and add for all the fourth generation aircraft for them as well, to balance it out and to be able to counter the fifth generations, right? So we don't know, but for sure I would say that it's gonna have to wait until everybody has on the very least one 4.5 generation jet. So wait for everybody. There's not that many nations that need one right now. Russia, technically the US, you know, there's the Japanese, you know, the China a little bit. So there are nations, but most of them already got one. So I wouldn't take that into being too long into the future. But on the very least, I would say the last patch of the year, or around that time, I would say, to see these missiles. On the very least, maybe even more. So, yeah, kind of sad, but kind of good as well, because I don't think we are ready for these missiles yet. I think it would break a little bit of the game. And yeah, let's see how it gets implemented. When it gets implemented, for sure we are gonna see those missiles being added at a certain point, right? So I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like in the comments, or leave a like and comment down below. And I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.